Hey, what's up everyone? I'm going to show you exactly how I'm making $18,000 every single month from Faceless YouTube Shorts. And the crazy part is, I'm doing it without ever showing my face on camera. This is the complete breakdown of my entire system, from ideation all the way through to monetization and scaling. Let me walk you through everything step by step. First, let's talk about what Faceless YouTube Shorts actually are. These are short-form vertical videos under 60 seconds that live on YouTube's Shorts platform. They require zero on-camera presence, which means you don't need to be the face of your channel. Instead, you're focusing entirely on valuable content, trending topics, or educational material that keeps people watching and keeps them coming back for more. The beauty of this format is that you can repurpose content from other platforms, use stock footage, animations, or screen recordings to build an entire monetized channel. Now, the reason I started doing this was simple. I was already creating long-form content, but I noticed that YouTube Shorts were getting millions of views with significantly less effort than traditional long-form videos. I saw creators getting 10 to 50 million views per month on Shorts alone. That's insane reach. So I decided to test whether I could monetize Shorts at scale, and spoiler alert, I absolutely could. My first month I made about $200. By month 3, I was at $5,000. And now I'm consistently hitting $18,000 every single month, sometimes more. So how does the money actually come in? The primary revenue stream is YouTube AdSense. When your shorts get views, ads run before and during the video, and you earn a share of that ad revenue. YouTube takes their cut, and you keep the rest. But here's the key insight that most people miss. YouTube pays differently for shorts than they do for long-form content. Shorts typically earn between 0.1 and 0.5 cents per view. That might sound tiny, but when you're getting millions of views, it compounds incredibly fast. To make $18,000 per month with an average of 0.3 cents per view, you need approximately 6 million views. That's the magic number, 6 million views. Sounds like a lot, but let me show you how I'm actually achieving this consistently. The secret isn't creating viral videos randomly. It's about understanding the algorithm, creating in batches, and focusing on evergreen content that performs reliably. Let me break down my content strategy. I focus on 5 main niches that I found perform exceptionally well on Shorts. First is personal finance and money-making tips. People are obsessed with learning how to earn more money and build wealth. Second is productivity and business tips for entrepreneurs. Third is psychology and human behavior, especially as it relates to success and motivation. Fourth is technology hacks and explanations. And fifth is health and fitness tips. Each of these niches has enormous audiences that actively search for content and engage consistently. Within each niche, I'm not trying to create viral one-off videos. Instead, I'm creating series content. For example, in the personal finance niche, I might create a series called Money Lessons Nobody Teaches You. Each video in that series is standalone, but follows a similar format. This is crucial because it trains the algorithm to recommend your videos to the same audience repeatedly. When the algorithm knows that people who watch one of your videos are likely to watch another, it pushes your content harder. Here's my actual production workflow. Every single week, I dedicate 1 day to brainstorming and scripting. I come up with 50 to 100 video ideas based on trending topics, keyword research, and what I see performing well in my niche. I use tools like TubeBuddy and vidIQ to see which topics are trending and which keywords have high search volume but low competition. Then I script these ideas in a simple Google Doc. Nothing fancy, just concise scripts that are between 100 and 150 words. That's the sweet spot for Shorts. Once I have my scripts, I move to production. I use a combination of tools depending on the type of content. For educational videos, I use screen recording software like ScreenFlow or Camtasia to record my screen while I narrate the content. For psychology and motivation content, I use stock footage from platforms like Pexels and Unsplash, combined with text overlays and transitions. For finance tips, I often create simple animations or use financial charts and graphics. The key is that none of this requires my face or voice to be distinctly recognizable. I use text-to-speech software for narration, which honestly sounds pretty natural nowadays. Then comes editing. I use CapCut because it's free, powerful, and specifically optimized for vertical video format. In CapCut, I'm adding music, transitions, text overlays, and effects. The goal is to make every single second visually interesting. You've got maybe 2 seconds before someone scrolls past. So those first 2 seconds need to grab attention immediately. I typically use quick cuts, bold text, trending sounds, and high contrast visuals to stop the scroll. Here's something critical that most creators miss. Thumbnails and titles matter hugely for shorts too. Even though shorts are short form, YouTube still shows a thumbnail and title when people encounter them. I spend time creating compelling titles that include relevant keywords. For example, instead of money tips, I'll use the 5% rule that made me rich. That specificity and curiosity gap drives more clicks. Once I have a batch of videos edited, I schedule them to upload. I typically upload between 2 and 4 shorts per day across my different channels. Yes, I run multiple channels in different niches. This is absolutely critical for scaling. One channel might get limited reach in one niche, but diversifying across 3 or 4 channels in different categories significantly increases your total monthly revenue. I have channels in finance, productivity, psychology, and technology. Together, they're generating that $18,000 monthly revenue. Now let's talk about the actual timeline for monetization. YouTube requires 4,000 hours of watch time or 10 million shorts views in the last 90 days to be eligible for monetization. Most people think this is impossible, but it's actually quite achievable if you're strategic. When I started my first channel, I hit monetization eligibility within 2 months by uploading consistently and focusing on content that performed well algorithmically. Once you hit that threshold, YouTube turns on ads and the money starts flowing immediately. The second revenue stream I want to mention is channel memberships. Once you have a monetized channel, you can enable channel memberships, which allows your viewers to pay you directly for exclusive perks. I don't focus heavily on this, but I probably make an extra $500 to $1,000 per month from channel memberships across all my channels. It's passive income once it's set up. I also occasionally do sponsorships and affiliate marketing. Brands in the finance and business space love reaching creators with engaged audiences. I might make anywhere from $500 to $2,000 per sponsored video. I'm selective about sponsorships because I only promote products I genuinely believe in. Affiliate marketing brings in a smaller amount, probably $200 to $500 monthly, but again, it's passive once the links are embedded. Let me give you a real numbers breakdown of what an $18,000 month actually looks like for me. Approximately 85% of that, so around $15,000, comes from AdSense revenue across all channels. The remaining $3,000 comes from a combination of channel memberships, sponsorships, and affiliate commissions. This is important because it shows you that the primary moneymaker is volume of views, not fancy monetization strategies. If you can consistently get 6 to 8 million views per month, you're going to make serious money. Now, what does it actually take to maintain this? The honest answer is, it takes less daily time than you might think, but it requires consistency. I spend roughly 10 to 15 hours per week on content production. That includes brainstorming, scripting, filming or recording, editing, and uploading. Because I batch my content, I'm not doing this every single day. Instead, I have specific production days where I focus intensely and create weeks' worth of content at once. Then the uploading is automated through YouTube's scheduling feature. The biggest mistake I see other creators make is inconsistency. They'll create 5 videos one week and then disappear for 2 weeks. The algorithm punishes this. It wants to see consistent, reliable uploads. If you commit to uploading 3 shorts per day every single day, the algorithm will push your content to more people because it knows you're a reliable source of content. This consistency is honestly more important than the raw quality of individual videos. Another critical factor is engagement. I spend roughly 5 hours per week engaging with my audience. This means responding to comments, reading feedback, and understanding what my viewers want to see. YouTube's algorithm actually looks at engagement metrics like comments and shares. A video with 100,000 views and high engagement will get pushed harder than a video with 200,000 views and low engagement. So I actively encourage comments by asking questions in my videos, responding thoughtfully, and building a community. Let me also talk about what doesn't work. I've experimented with clickbait, and it actually backfires. YouTube's algorithm is sophisticated enough to detect when people click on your video but then leave immediately. This is called a high bounce rate, and it tells the algorithm your content isn't delivering on its promise. I've found that honest titles that accurately reflect the content actually perform better long-term. People come back and watch more of your content when they trust you. I've also learned that trending sounds matter significantly. TikTok and Instagram Reels trends often precede YouTube Shorts trends. So I spend time on TikTok watching what sounds are trending, then I incorporate those sounds into my shorts. When your video uses a trending sound, YouTube's algorithm is more likely to recommend it because it assumes people want to see that audio. This is a simple hack that probably increases my views by 30 to 40%. Another thing I've noticed is that series content performs better than random one-off videos. As I mentioned earlier, I create content in themed series. So for example, I have a series called Habits of Successful People, and every video in that series teaches a different habit. I also have a series called Financial Mistakes to Avoid, and another called Productivity Hacks That Actually Work. This series structure trains viewers to expect more content from you and encourages them to check out your other videos. Let me talk about the tools I actually use because this is super practical. For scripting, I use Google Docs or Notion. For research and keyword analysis, I use TubeBuddy and vidIQ. For screen recording, I use ScreenFlow on Mac or Camtasia. For stock footage, I use Pexels, Unsplash, and Pixabay, all free. For text-to-speech, I use a combination of Natural Reader and Google's text-to-speech. For editing, I exclusively use CapCut. For thumbnail creation, I use Canva. And for scheduling and analytics, I use YouTube Studio and Social Blade. Total monthly software costs for me are probably around $50, mostly for TubeBuddy. Everything else is free or very affordable. One thing that really accelerated my growth was understanding my analytics deeply. YouTube Studio shows you exactly which videos perform best, where your viewers come from, what demographics watch you, and what they click on. I review my analytics every single week and adjust my content strategy based on what's working. If I notice that videos about compound interest are getting more views than other finance content, I create more compound interest videos. This sounds obvious, but most creators don't do this. They just create whatever they feel like and hope it works. I also want to address the income potential and be honest about it. $18,000 per month is my current reality, but this took time to build. My first month was $200. Second month was $400. Third month was $1,000. It grew exponentially from there. The reason is compounding. As my channels grew and I accumulated more videos, each new video I uploaded was recommended alongside my existing library. So I wasn't starting from zero each time. This is why consistency matters so much early on. You're building an asset that compounds over time. If you're just starting, I'd recommend setting some milestones. First milestone, hit $1,000 per month. This typically takes 2 to 3 months of consistent uploads if you're niching down properly. Second milestone, hit $5,000 per month. This usually takes 3 to 6 months. Third milestone, hit $10,000 per month. This requires either multiple channels or one very successful channel, and usually takes 6 to 12 months. And then, the $18,000 level comes from either really large channels or multiple established channels working together. Let me also talk about burnout and sustainability, because this is important. I initially tried creating 50 videos per week and uploading them all. It was insane. I burned out hard. Now I create between 10 and 20 videos per week, which is totally sustainable. I batch content on specific days, which means I'm not constantly in production mode. I also take breaks, usually 1 week off every quarter, where I don't create anything new. This keeps the passion alive and prevents burnout. The other thing I've learned is that quantity and consistency beat perfection. Your first 50 videos won't be amazing. They'll be decent, but that's okay. You improve as you go. Some of my best performing videos now are ones I made when I was just starting. It's not always about production quality. It's about message clarity and relevance to the audience. So don't wait until you can make perfect videos. Start now. Make imperfect videos. Learn from the data and improve. I also want to emphasize diversification for risk management. YouTube's algorithm changes, policies change, niches saturate. By having multiple channels in different niches, I'm not dependent on any single revenue stream. If one channel gets demonetized or suppressed by algorithm changes, I still have 3 other channels generating income. This is honestly one of the smartest decisions I made early on. Looking forward, I'm exploring new platforms as well. TikTok's creator fund is growing. Instagram Reels are becoming more monetized. I'm already repurposing my YouTube Shorts directly to TikTok and Instagram, which is essentially free money. I might be making another $2,000 to $3,000 monthly from TikTok and Instagram combined now. So the $18,000 from YouTube could potentially be supplemented by $5,000 from other platforms if I wanted to go all in on that. One last thing I want to mention is that this business model is recession resistant. Even when the economy struggles, people want to learn how to make money, improve their productivity, and understand finances better. These niches are evergreen. They don't depend on trends or seasons. This means if I maintain consistency, I can reasonably expect this income level to continue indefinitely, barring major platform changes. So in summary, here's the system. Choose a niche with high demand and evergreen content. Create scripted short-form videos using stock footage, screen recordings, and text-to-speech. Batch your content production into specific days. Upload consistently, 2 to 4 videos per day. Optimize titles and thumbnails for clicks. Use trending sounds from TikTok and Instagram. Review analytics weekly and adjust based on performance. Scale to multiple channels if you want to hit higher income levels. Be patient and consistent. And remember, this took me a year to build, but it's now a genuinely passive income stream that requires maybe 10 to 15 hours per week to maintain. That's the real power of the Faceless YouTube Shorts model. You build it once, it works for you forever. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.